Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Boss Brand Podcast. I'm your host, Satara Brown, and every week I'm taking you behind the scenes of what it really takes to bet on yourself. Welcome back to another episode of the Girl Boss Brand Podcast. I'm your host, Satara Brown, and every single week I am taking you behind the scenes of what it takes to bet on yourself. Before we get started and before I get to telling you about my dad and my repossessed car, actually my almost repossessed car, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Girl Boss Brand. Make sure you like, comment below, and let me know, are you feeling these 20-minute episodes or do you need something a little bit longer? You need something to get you through your work shift? Let me know what the vibes are. I need a check-in, so make sure you comment below. But let's get back into it. So should we talk about how I almost tried to kill my dad, or should we talk about how my car almost got repoed, but actually almost didn't? It ended up, okay, so let's go back a little bit. So when my mom was sick, I was drinking all the time. I literally drank a bottle of tequila every single day, like a bottle of Patron. And sometimes I would drink like a bottle and a half. And it was so bad because like even talking about this right now, I need a sip of water. Like my mouth gets dehydrated. I would never drink alcohol again because I think I drank enough alcohol for my entire lifetime. So I was really upset with my dad because my dad, he just didn't help with my mom. Nobody helped. It was just me. And my mom was a giver. She literally did everything for everyone. She sacrificed her whole life for her kids. She sacrificed her career for us. So she like gave her career away to be a mom. And she was just so amazing. So like in her time of need, it really hurt me to see how people treated her, my siblings, my dad, my family members, her friends. It really, really hurt me. And maybe that's why I have detachment issues now. And I'm like, I don't care about any relationships, which deep down inside isn't true. But so like with my dad, he was physically present and he would walk past us talking about he got to go to Amazon. He would just like walk past us, not even speak, not even care in the world. And I was like a robot for my mom. So I was in the house just cutting up. And one day, I can't even tell you the full story because I was drunk. But like, my dad would like try to help my mom and like she had a walker and like he was so clumsy and careless and just so out of touch with reality that he would like ram her legs into her walker. And like when you have cancer, like you're super fragile. So like my mom would be like crying out and screaming and like it just was so hard to deal with. And one day he did it and I'm like, if you hit my mom again, if you hurt my mom again, I'm going to hurt you. So like, I don't know. I like sprayed him in the face with Lysol and my dad, he's old and he's skinny. And I was like choking him with his shirt. And like, it was a big thing. Like if I had the picture right now, I would insert it right now. Like he like busted my lip. It was a really big thing. And yeah. So after my mom died, there was another episode. And I think my dad like said something about my mom or about me and my life. And I had just came in from my friend's birthday party. So of course I was drunk and I just started bugging out. So he called my sister. My sister called the cops, which my sister and brother, they were not in our vicinity, but they would frequently call the cops. It was actually embarrassing. Like the cops came to our house so many times because it was just, I was cutting up. So the cops come, my sister ends up coming to the house with my cousin. My cousin attacks me and I think she like pushed me. And when I fell, she was like trying to drag me. It's not funny. She was trying to drag me down the stairs. And then like, I like sobered up. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I kicked her off of me and she just like left. So now I'm like cursing her dad, cursing her mom out, cursing my dad out. It was like a whole big thing. And then the cops come and my sister was talking to the cops so bad, trying to get me arrested. And they're like, we can't do anything. We can't do anything. Next thing you know, I get arrested. and I had shorts on. And I was like, can I go get my sweatshirt? And I already knew what time it was. So like I wrote like this lawyer's number down on my leg. I wrote like one of my friends' numbers down just in case my other friend didn't answer. And like my cousin and her mom and my sister or whoever gassed my dad up to like get an order of protection. So I couldn't go back to the house. And I called my best friend and he answered, and it's like midnight. It's really not funny, but this happened like 2 years ago. And I was reminded because I just got pulled over the other day and the cops were like, do you have order of protection? I was like, oh my God, that is so ill. Yes, I do. It's against my dad. Yes, I do. But anyway, so I got kicked out the house. I called my best friend. He like texted the lawyer and the lawyer like is like, he got me out of there. But all of that to say is like me and my dad, we had this really trying relationship. So now that if you didn't listen to the last episode, make sure you tune in so you could catch up. But now that, you know, we're fast forward 2+ years in and my dad was talking all that junk about my car, I missed a payment for my Audi because I lost like $50,000 through something that I was doing with my nonprofit. I created a creative art studio and I went into business with a company that did production and all this stuff. And it just wasn't the right match. They weren't who they portrayed to be, and their money was not up. Like, so I'm footing the bill for everything. And I wasn't working at the time because I was doing the entrepreneur thing. And like, I just overlooked paying my car note 1 month. And so when the second month came, they like told me I needed to give them like all of the money. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it was Wells Fargo, right? And I had a loan through Wells Fargo when I had my first Audi. So I'm like, what is going on right now? So that just wasn't an option for me. So this was like in 2022. We are in 2026. So for the last 4 years, and I had 2 cars. So like to me, it didn't really matter. So for the last 4 years, like my Audi was going to get repoed and I just didn't drive it. And I'm not hiding from them because one, the car was like basically brand new. It was like a newer model at the time and it had GPS on it. So if I move the car anywhere, they're going to know where the car is, right? So I just left it in my driveway. And but I was like, I'm not going to turn it on because if I turn it on, like I feel like it's going to like spark something and someone's going to get a notification and the GPS is going to turn on and they're going to come and get it. So at this time, I was getting my first master's degree in New York City and nobody knew what was going on with my car because I'm the type of person, if you cannot help me, there's nothing to talk about. Like, what are we just going to be talking to talk? Like, there's nothing to talk about. If you can't provide a solution, if you don't have the $30,000 to solve my problem, there's no reason for me to tell you about it. So nobody knows about this problem. So one day I was at school and at this time I think I was like working at the police department during the day and then I would go down to the city. So I come back and my mom was like, a tow truck came to get your car. But at this time, I told you I had 2 cars. Then my mom had a car. My dad had a car. So the driveway was packed. And I always made sure that another car blocked in my Audi because my theory was if they're going to repo my car, they're going to have to get through another car. And they can't touch another car, which I later found out that they can. I don't really know. I don't know the rules. All I know is that I did not want them to take this car. And it wasn't about the car. It was the impact. I didn't want it on my credit because I'm like, then I'm going to have to wait 10 years to buy a house. And I need a house because I want to have a kid and I need to have my life together and I want to have a husband and I need to have a house. So I can't have my car repoed. So with that train of thought, my mom's like, yeah, the tow truck came to get your car. So now I told her what was up. She's like, why didn't you just tell me when it happened? I'm like, girl, when it happened, it was already too far gone. Like, it was just like 1 month here and 1 month there. And it's just like, they want the car. So, you know, my mom, she was so thorough. My mom was so real. Like, she held it down. Like, they were like, ma'am, is that your car? And she's like, no. They're like, whose is it? She's like, she's not here. They're like, well, whose car is this? She's like, not mine. They're like, well, what car do you own? She's like, the Jeep. he was like, all right, well, here's my card. If she wants to give the car up, just let me know. That was the first and only time that I have knowledge that anyone ever came to get this car. This is in 2022. We are now in 2026. So, all of this transpired because I missed one payment. And it's like I was caught up in creating a creative art center and pouring all of my own money into this creative art center for my nonprofit that I had a mishap on my part in my personal life, right? And my personal responsibilities. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I got this car and I'm just not going to pay it. That's not what happened. So months and months and months would go by, and every so often I would call Wells Fargo because like, how can we make this work? I do not want you to repossess my car, but I do not have $30,000 to give you. So how can we make this work? Like I literally just lost $50,000. Help me out here. And they always would say, nope, we need the full amount. Or, oh, you could pay it in 4 payments. No, I cannot pay it in 4 payments. So if you're going to come get the car, come get the car. I wouldn't tell them that, but that was my attitude. So, in the midst of all of this, I'm literally getting sued for $20,000 by the county because I didn't report on a grant that I had for my nonprofit. So it's so much different things going on, all while I'm just trying to get my master's. So fast forward from 2022, 4 years later, I'm literally just praying and praying and praying because I told you, I need to buy a house. I need to have a family. I need to have a husband. I need to have a baby. I need to have a house. I can't have this on my credit. I cannot have my car repossessed. So I would just pray and pray and pray. I finally switched my prayer up early 2026, and I was literally like, God, I know that my mom thinks I'm a materialistic person, and all my life she's told me that I care about my car too much. I care about material things too much. God, if you just take this off of my credit and make sure that my car does not get repossessed, I promise you I will not even drive the car. I won't even get in the car. I will just sell the car. And you know what? 2 weeks later, I called Wells Fargo, and they said that there's no debt owed. That something about a statute of limitation, and I done told you that I went to law school, but I don't really know what happened, and I don't care. So if you're in the comments asking me, well, how did that happen to me? Prayer, God, because other than that, I have no explanation. My balance was at 0. They sent me the title in the mail, and I did not wait to go and sell that car. And back to my dad talking all the crap, like she got all these cars here, this, and that. He's the first one talking about what I could do with my money. So I told myself, I think I was like, I don't know. I think I was being delusional. We spoke about me being delusional before. I was like, okay, well, the car really was like $35,000. So I want to get like 23 for it, but I'll settle for 18, right? I don't even know how anything works with cars. I never even sold a car before. I gave a car away to my cousin before for $600. So I'm like Kelly Blue Booking and all this stuff. And they're like telling me like $11,000. And I'm like, that's not a lot of money. But then I'm like, I need to be a faithful servant. Like God has got this off of my record. Like I'm not going to have a repo on my credit score. So I just need to do what God told me to do, which was sell the car. So then I'm like toying with the idea. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'll just like drive it for a little bit. No. Then I'm like asking my friends, I'm asking my sister. And I'm like, my sister's like, I don't even know why you're asking me. God already told you that if this repossession does not go on your credit, then you sell the car. You don't even get to drive it. So now my nephews, they used to ask me, when do we get to go in your black car? When do we get to go in your black car? Now we get to go in it, but we can't drive it. Mind you, I forgot to tell you, the battery is dead. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go buy a battery. And no, God did not tell me to do any of that. God said, if I don't repossess your car, you sell the car. You can't even drive it, right? So I'm like trying to charge the battery. And I guess some foreign cars, there's a battery in the front, battery in the back. I don't know anything about cars, right? I can't even keep up with my Honda Hoopty. And so finally, I go online. This is like all within a couple days after like getting the title and everything. I go, well, actually, I didn't have the physical title, but I knew it was clear. So I go online and I put it on Facebook Marketplace for $18,000. Remember, I told you I wanted 23, but I'm crazy, right?
but I really didn't want less than like 18, which I really didn't realistically want less than 15. So all these like dealerships start calling me. And like I put like the information into like CarMax or Kelley Blue Book or whatever. And like some were like, oh, okay, we'll give you 11,000. Some were like, we'll give you 15. Can you get the car here? Is it drivable? So now I don't even like, is it drivable or do I need a new battery? Can I say that it's drivable? Are they gonna want me to like drive the car there? Are they gonna bring a tow truck? Like, can I just call AAA and tow it there? But then what if they don't want the car? But then I also forgot that one day when I was drunk, I scraped the front of the car. So like, do I need to tell them that? Should I get it fixed? But that's going to be like $2,000. And then on top of the battery being dead for 4 years, on top of there being a little bit of damage to the front, but it affected the hood, I also forgot that the AC was broken. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be obedient. I bought the battery. So now I buy a battery for $300. I don't even know what I'm doing. So a mobile mechanic was supposed to come, then they didn't come. And then because they needed like some device, because when you like with the foreign cars, you have to like set it or I don't know. It's different, right? So long story short, I'm like, I'm going to get my $300 back. I go return the battery. This car dealership from Connecticut reaches out to me and they're like texting me. And I'm not thinking it's a scam because like, how else do you know? They're like, so what offers have you gotten? I'm like, $1,750. Mind you, the highest offer I got was like a range between 13 and 15. But they don't know that, right? And then I had like some private people that were going to look at it, but then I knew I was going to have to take off for the battery. Then I was going to have to take off for the AC. Then I was going to have to take off for the dent. So I'm like $1,750. And they're like, if we come and get the car, we'll give you $16,000 today. I was like, bet. Like 16, 15, same thing, right? I mean, I put $5,000 down for the car and I paid on it for, I don't know, a year and a half. Either way, it doesn't even matter. The goal was for it not to be on my credit so I could eventually buy a house and have a family and have kids and have a husband and all that, right? So now I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be this easy. It's lit. So I go and I order the title and they're like, we have to do this today. We have to do this today. I had to like go see a client. I had to do all this other thing. And I'm like, I don't have the title. They're like, all right, well, let us know when you got the title. I rushed it. It came in 2 days. Oh, God is so good. I was on a call with a client at the time. I had to like mute the client, mute the screen, and they sent rookies. So it was this guy who never like came and picked up a car before. And they're like, the car doesn't start. I'm like, yeah, I told them that. So they like go to charge it. I'm like, the battery's in the trunk. And I'm thinking in my head, like, do they know what they're doing? But I don't say anything. Normally I'd be like, maybe you don't know your job. I would start being a Karen, right? But this time I'm like, let me fall back and let God just do what he's doing. Because I had started the battery because I jumped it, but it died. So, and I didn't want them to see the damage in the front because I didn't want them to take off any money. Long story short, they jumped that car. They took the car. They handed me a check for $16,000 and called it a day. And now my dad, he's in my pockets after done saying that I have failed businesses. I got all these cars and all this stuff in his house and I do nothing with my life and all I do is drink. Now my dad is in my pockets trying to get some of my $16,000. And you know what? I was going to give him some money. And my sister's like, don't give him no money. And I'm like, I don't want to be like that. But in thinking about the relationship that I have with him and thinking about the things that he said, and I don't want to harp on the past, but he's not in that pocket where he could be in my pockets, right? Like I don't owe him any money from that. When I was going through that whole repossession scare situation, he done came up off of $150,000. He could have gave me the money for the car, which he didn't have to, but he didn't, right? Like, so I found a solution. Well, God found a solution, right? And no one's entitled to anything that I have going on, right? And that money is $16,000. It might sound like a lot of money, but I already have something that I'm doing with the money. So I can't derail and I can't allow for other people to reap the benefits of the good that's happening with me. God gave me that blessing, right? He didn't give that for me to give to anyone else. So when we're talking about relationships and keeping people in certain pockets and things like that, just make sure that you don't block your own blessings by giving out money to people who don't deserve it. I know a lot of y'all probably work real hard and you're giving your hard-earned money to other people for different reasons because you just want to help out. You want to see them win. You want them to be there with you. But sometimes the blessing is only for you. And I know that was a mouthful, but I'll see you next week on another episode of the Girl Boss Brand while we continue to go through this journey of entrepreneurship together.